The following video contains footage from the Endwalker media tour. As such, this footage is not representative of the final product, and you will find significant differences both visually and elsewhere. I do remind you, please do not take this as the final version, but at the same time, thank you to Square Enix for providing me with this opportunity, and I hope you enjoy this. So, Dragoon then, probably my new favorite melee DPS in the game. And that's not an exaggeration. So I really enjoyed my time with Dragoon, albeit quite brief. I didn't have much time with it. I really enjoyed it on the target dummies. And yeah, I really think they've done a really good job with this. So there's full reworks, obviously, there. You can see the job gauge is slightly different. And we also have lots of new flashy abilities. So we need to look at those in just a second. But you'll notice that yeah, it just seems really fluid, even on the job action trailer here that's publicly available, and it's just so flashy. The new ability then really blows my mind. It really does, but everything just fits together nicely. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, so good. The new artifact set is probably one of my favorite melee sets that they have ever brought out, especially for Dragoon. This just reminds me of like Kane or something like that. The use of that ability there at the end, it's just too good. It's just too good. But yeah, anyway, before we get carried away, we should really look at those tooltip changes and obviously all of the other bits that have changed as well. Alrighty then, so Dragoon changes. Please take the following tooltips as not final. The game may actually change between now and the final release, especially with potencies. They're very likely to be different in Endwalker from the build I play tested, so bear that in mind. Firstly, also let me tell you that there's a 2.47 recast timer. This applies to this job as well across the board for most abilities. If I do not read something out, it either did not change or the recast timer is the only uniform change to it. Right then, True Thrust is the first ability to change. This has a potency reduction to 230, and this was previously 290 on live servers. Vorpal Thrust now has a potency of 130, down 10 from 140 on live servers. The combo potency is also now 280, also down from 350 on our servers. Life Surge also got a small change. The additional effect now absorbs a portion of damage dealt as HP with a maximum of 2 charges. This is now on a 45-second charge timer and is no longer on a 45-second recast time. This lets you store a life surge for when you actually might need it. Piercing Talon has a potency of 130, down from 150 on the live servers. Disembowel has a potency of 140, down from 150. Also, the combo action with True Thrust here is down to 250 potency, which was 320 normally, but the rest of that tooltip's the same. Full Thrust has its combo potency with Vorpal Thrust reduced to 400, down from 530. This now only grants Sharper Fang and Claw without the need of Blood of the Dragon, since Blood of the Dragon is gone. Lance Charge changed quite a bit. It now has a recast timer of 60 seconds, down from 90. It also increases damage dealt by 10%, down from 15%. For 20 seconds. So whilst it is a 5% less, damage dealt buff, you get to use it that much earlier in your rotation, which is a nice trade-off in my opinion. Chaos Thrust, minor potency changes then. The combo from Disembowel is now 220, down from 290, and also the damage over time from this is also a 40 potency dot, which is down from 50. It also only grants enhanced Wheeling Thrust. It doesn't need Blood of the Dragon or Life of the Dragon anymore, and it lasts for 30 seconds, up from the previous 10. That's going to be quite a game changer, and in fact, the removal of Blood of the Dragon is already making this much smoother and much faster, as you'll probably see in the game. Right, class changes over then. Now it's time to look at job action changes. Jump's potency is 320. This is actually up from 310. Doom Spike is 110 potency on that AoE, down from 170. This also now changes to Draconian Fury which is a new skill when you're under the effect of Draconian Fire. We'll get to that later. Spine Chatter Dive then, 250 potency, down from, actually up from 240. This is now also a charge ability with a maximum of 2 charges, which is absolutely awesome. Dragonfire Dive's potency is now 300, down from 380. Battle Litany is now increasing the critical hit rate of self and nearby party members by 10% for 15 seconds. This is down from 20 seconds. However, the ability now fits a 120-second recast timer, down from the previous 180. So that's actually an amazing trade-off, in my personal opinion. This is where Blood of a Dragon would actually be at this sort of level area, but that's actually now gone completely. So, Fang and Claw, 260 potency and 300 if from a target's flank. This used to be 340 and 380 respectively previously. This can only be executed under the effect of Sharper, Fang and Claw. Wheeling Thrust is now 260 potency, down from 340, 300 if you attack from the rear. That's also down from 380 from the rear. However, this now only requires you to be under the effect of Enhanced Wheeling Thrust. Not having Blood of a Dragon is pretty awesome, not gonna lie. Gears Kogel is now still a nice line attack, but now does 250 potency hit and then 30% less for remaining enemies. This also now grants Life of the Dragon whilst under the full gaze of the First Brood. This still changes to Nastrond whilst under the effect of Life of the Dragon. Sonic Thrust has a change of potency in a combo with Doom Spike. That's now at 120, down from 200. This also grants Power Surge, which increases damage dealt by 10% for 30 seconds, which is a nice bonus and a bit of a nice buff there. Mirage Dive now has a potency of 200. This is reduced from 300 as it currently is on live servers. They also remove the need of Blood of a Dragon or Life of the Dragon, so now you just get 1 dragon gauge, which is quite nice. Curfin Torment now has a potency change to the combo with Sonic Thrust. This is now at 150, down from 230. It now also grants Draconic Fire for 30 seconds instead of extending Blood of a Dragon, because Blood of a Dragon's gone. Stardiver got a potency change then, now 500, down from 600 on that first enemy, and the rest of the tooltip is the same. Alright, so a new ability now at level 86 is called Heaven's Thrust. This is an instant cast ability hitting for 100 potency. This combos with Vorpal Thrust for a potency of 430 and grants Sharper Fang and Claw for 30 seconds. Chaotic Spring is new, available at level 86. This instant cast ability delivers an attack with a potency of 100. That's 140 potency if you attack from the rear. This combos with Disembowel then for a potency of 240, which is 280 if you're at the rear of the enemy. This combo also applies a damage over time to the target with a potency of 45 for 24 seconds. This also grants Enhanced Wheeling Thrust for 30 seconds. That's at level 86. Quite a good one, that. And my new favourite melee ability, Wormwind Thrust, as you saw with the 2 dragons. This is available at level 90. This is an instant cast with a 10-second recast timer. Attack in a straight line with 370 potency for the first enemy, and then 50% less for remaining enemies. This costs 2 of the first mind's focus. Nastrond then is still at level 70. This now hits for a potency of 350 for the first enemy, then 30% less for all remaining enemies. This still requires Life of the Dragon to execute. Raiden Thrust or Raiden Thrust now has been tweaked to 260 potency, down from 330. This now also sharpens the first mind's focus by 1 and requires you to be under the effect of Draconian Fire. So basically what you do is Sonic Thrust, Curfin Torment, Raiden Thrust, something like that twice, and then Wormwind Thrust. It's quite fun, isn't it? Quite a fun set of abilities. Finally then, Draconian Fury. This delivers an attack for 130 to all enemies in a straight line before you. This also grants 1 first mind's focus by 1, still requiring Draconian Fire to use, and this is available at level 82. Alright, before we summarize this then, let's look through the trait changes and additions to traits. First of all, Blood of a Dragon is new at level 54. This increases the potency of Jump to 320 and Spine Shatter Dive to 250. Lance Mastery is the same aside from a reduction of 10 potency. Life of the Dragon at level 70 allows for the strengthening of the gaze of the first brood upon successfully landing Mirage Dive. When the gaze is at its strongest, i.e. 2 units, Gears Kogel will grant you the Life of the Dragon status, while under the effect of Life of the Dragon, Gears Kogel will change to Nastrond. This lasts for 20 seconds. Lance Mastery 2 then at level 76 now increases the potency of True Thrust to 230, Vorpal Thrust to 130 and Disembowel to 140. This grants Draconian Fire if Fang of the Claw is executed following Wheeling Thrust or vice versa. This lasts for 30 seconds. This also upgrades True Thrust to Raiden Thrust while under the effect of Draconian Fire. Life of the Dragon Mastery is new, and it's newly named at level 78. This extends just the duration of Life of the Dragon to 30 seconds now, as previously this would include Blood of the Dragon as well. Level 82 then, you get the Enhanced Curthan Torment. This grants the effect of Draconian Fire after successfully completing a combo with Curthan Torment. This upgrades Doomspike to Draconian Fury, whilst under the effect of that Draconian Fire buff. At level 84, you get Enhanced Spine Shatter Dive. This allows for the accumulation of charges for consecutive uses of this ability to a maximum of 2 charges. At level 86, we get Lance Mastery 3. This upgrades Full Thrust to Heaven's Thrust and Chaos Thrust to Chaotic Spring. At level 88, we get Enhanced Life Surge. This allows for the accumulation of charges of Life Surge up to a maximum of 2. And finally, Lance Mastery 4. This is available at level 90, and this increases the potency of Gears Kogel to 250 and Nastrond to 350. This also allows for the sharpening of a First Mind's focus upon successfully landing Raiden Thrust or Draconian Fury up to a maximum of 2 units. So lastly, let's look at the job gauge. That looks like this. Unfortunately, they didn't include a picture of that, so I'll put that on screen myself, the first bit. But it does say, upon learning the trait Lance Mastery 4, the actions Raiden Thrust and Draconian Fury can be executed to sharpen the First Mind's focus, up to a maximum of 2 units. Once their focus is fully sharpened, you can execute Wormwind Thrust. So that obviously adds on top of the Dragon gauge you probably know about from level 80. But there we go. Dragoon's full set. Personally, Dragoon surprised me. It now feels much faster and more fluid, but that's for most of these jobs actually have changed that way. I played it quite a bit easier than I ever did on live servers, and I think that's majoritively due to the removal of Blood of the Dragon. It just makes things easier to remember and keep track of. I really don't think we'll miss it overall, and yeah, I think it's a positive change. The new actions felt fun, addictive even, very flashy, and honestly incredibly useful. But then I don't main melee DPS. Perhaps you have your own thoughts and opinions on this and know better than me. Try to ignore potencies as much as possible, as they're likely not final, like I say, but please let me know what you think about Endwalker's Dragoon, and I'll see you all next time.